Hey, how y'all doing? We're now over on my channel for the new normal, and the new normal. I'm reading the corner. I put your logos up in the corner for Truth Tuesdays with me and Lisa. Which, if you or if you're watching this later on my channel, you can go watch. I was not there because I started early and I didn't check my
we had
Twitter.
to start early.
But over on her channel, check that out. Make sure you like, subscribe over on Lisa's channel.
A busy day for us.
Make sure you hit the like button, everybody, and then make sure you subscribe and comment afterwards. Everybody in the chat, there's a lot of people here.
I love the community that we have.
Nobody goes and comments in the chat. I gave away.
Well, because my community is live chatters. They love each other. They want to be talking to each other. They're here for the show.
You have to go after it goes live.
Well, I'm very thankful that they're here live.
To win money.
That's how they win.
Because they use a random comment picker. And last night, one of our shows came up, and there was only 2 comments. So
okay.
Yeah, it's like if you want to win some crypto, go and.
So then after it closes, that's when then you go back and make a comment and say wow, Lisa's hair looked great today.
Or, I want to win.
I love Sean's mustache. It's very handsome.
Thank you. And hey, by the way, TPA, I know you weren't making fun of my mustache, as Lisa said. I know you're complimenting it.
That's what I meant, was that you're complimenting it.
All right. And all right. Brother Phil.
What'd you guys think of Andy's on the show today? Andy Sheckman was killing it with all that information about silver, precious metals.
Yeah.
What was going on with the LME, London Metals Exchange, the difference between the big boys taking delivery and then it not showing up, coming out of the COMEX and not showing up on the actual accounts that it should be showing up.
I thought it was really weird that remember when we looked at physical silver being sold on Walmart cheaper
than AppMex. Not cheaper than Andy's, but on AppMex.
But imagine if it's filled. Imagine that.
Imagine what?
If the silver bars are filled.
If they're fake?
If they're filled means coated. So there's a big lead chunk in the middle. And that would be a way to get it out to the Yahoos and the regulars through Walmart and have them buy up a bunch of silver. And then technically it looks like the supply is there because they've got tons of silver that they bought that's physical, but it's really only about a quarter of a ton per ton. I don't know. That's just me thinking, spitballing,
freaking criminal,
crazy stuff. But I don't understand how
you can argue,
Walmart gets a cheaper price, but it is silver. This isn't, shirts from China or
right
socks.
But
that's bugged me since you found it.
I know. Well, Mom found it. Actually, Uncle Cliff found it. I think it was Uncle Cliff, and Mom found it from Uncle Cliff's Substack or somewhere. And then
Tom said they put tungsten in gold bars. Yeah.
Sent those to the Chinese.
Or what if they're 100% counterfeit? Oh my God, I never even thought of that.
That's what I thought you were saying.
No, what if they're just stamped? No. What if they're not from that?
They're not even from AppMex?
Yeah, because it just bothered me. Why is it so much cheaper on Walmart than their own direct? You know what I mean? It's bothered me a lot.
Maybe somebody should send a link of that to AppMex.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, knock, knock. Did you know?
Because I could do that. I could go on Walmart and I could sell anything. And that's a problem that like Amazon,
What?
Walmart, Best Buy,
You
all
could
those
sell
sites do.
something on Walmart?
Yeah, about a third of the stuff on Walmart, most of the stuff on Amazon, that they're not sold by Amazon. They're not sold by Walmart.
But it had store pickup.
You can have it sent to the store, and also if you're partnered with them, if you're like a big Chinese company or whatever, if you're partnered with them, they'll hold your stock in their warehouse.
It was only available at certain stores. Like I put my zip code in, and
Joe's messaging me.
hey Joe, tell him you're busy.
Yeah.
You only
Wow,
have
he's actually a little emotional.
about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, he doesn't like being seen as emotional, if you remember last night. So if you guys didn't watch last night, we had, and Sean and I both streamed it on our channels, so you can watch it there. We had the watch party for open source money. So there was a documentary done on the SEC attacking a lot of the crypto projects, mostly the ones that are doing good
Doing
things.
something.
And yeah. And I thought there was a great point. Was it Dave that brought it up? Or I'm not sure who brought the point up about, it's interesting that they're not going after Mashinsky
That was me
or
and Dave.
Duquan
Yeah.
or these people who are literally scamming people and, running off and taking and actually harming the individuals, which is what SEC claims that they do, is that they protect the little guy, the individual retail investor. They're going after companies that are building things and that are actually supporting retail investors to build things on them and with them, and that are still there and still in the public eye.
Yeah.
That's who they're going after.
It was fun. It was weird. I didn't know what I thought a watch party was like. You just watch it. But then
We did watch it.
Right, but I was watching it, just watching it. And then I kept hearing other people's voices. And I was like, wait a minute, Lisa's not in this movie? And then I looked down at the bottom of the screen because I was on my phone. I looked down at the bottom of the screen and I see these little pictures. So I was like,
why does she keep talking?
I'm supposed to be like on a show watching
participating.
It. Yeah, and that's when I came on, and it was terrible watching it. I mean, it was terrible when everyone was talking.
Oh.
You couldn't hear it because it was like 9 people talking. And so I
That's
said
like
something.
Thanksgiving at my family's house. We all just talk over each other.
Like when you first sit down at the table. That's how it was. And that's why I said something to Dave, and then they asked in chat, and they were like, yeah, it was so much better, but it went 3 hours because it kept stopping to talk and make points. But it was so cool because like most people, I hadn't watched that for 2 years, 3 years. And to see, I mean, it was like some parts were sad because we're like, oh, 2-3 years from now, everything's going to be this. And it's like, the SEC is still fighting. It's, you can see everything crumbling around us. It was, but it did kind of make you feel rejuvenated because you got to see people that still had that energy, like that one dude at the Crypto Castle. And,
I loved him.
Yeah, the energy, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna change the world." Yeah, it's like we are gonna change the world.
Great. It's great.
We are.
He just kept saying, "It's great. It's great." I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was very hopeful, and yeah. And I loved the whole. I think that's that spirit of Bitcoin that's that spirit of open source anyway. Of like, you don't own me kind of thing. Like, well, what are you going to build? Well, what are you going to build? That's that anarchist kind of mindset, is like, and free markets. Well, if you build it and somebody likes it, I guess it had value. And if nobody touches it, I guess it didn't. And, as long as you're not hurting someone, then that's great,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, they had there were some cool things. I did get sad seeing Eileen leave the company because of the harassment.
Yeah, that was sad. That was sad.
That was really sad to see somebody leave the fight because they were just so beaten down. financially, emotionally,
It was fun watching, like you were talking about with in the beginning, watching Joe just feel uncomfortable watching himself.
He was so uncomfortable. He kept stopping. That was what he mostly talked about. When he was talking, he was like, okay, look, it's a little cheesy, like the way that they did the dramatic noise. And he goes, and then they're like, okay, they really want me to drive a car because they like seeing people drive a car. And we're like, Joe, it's okay.
But just when he was talking, you could see his face. Like,
oh, he is very uncomfortable with it. Yeah.
I was cracking up, man.
But is his daughter not the cutest little thing with her curly hair? Oh my gosh, she's adorable. And his beautiful wife. And yeah.
I think he looks like, younger without the beard, but.
Oh, way younger without the beard.
Yeah.
But it was also cool to see the back. So when we're on like the show on Thursday morning and to not know, it was cool to see the history of Dragonchain and then see like the team and how it was built and all the development. And, because we get to see like the producer and Joe and Dave, but we don't see anybody else. And then to see all that work and the team and all that, I was like, dang, that's kind of cool.
When I think of Dragonchain, I think of Dave. And he really doesn't have.
And Joe.
But I think of Dave, and Joe. But Dave, he's not really part of that team. It's a whole nother thing. He's like Den, and it's very different and separate. But when I think of Dragonchain, I don't think of like all those other people that are working their butt off. Like Rivet, I think, it's Greg.
Yeah.
The people that I know there. So I don't know. You're right. It was cool to see this team working on it, and they're all just behind the scenes. I mean, they're not out there like Joe is and other people. Yes, Tom, you're right. It's like 15 or something %.
Hey, pretty exciting. We had the watch party last night, and then I posted in the World Blockchain Roundtable in our Telegram. We have a chat for everybody on the show, and also I posted in a couple other places. There's going to be a kind of a head-to-head, a showdown, which it really goes along with what Andy was just saying on my channel. This move towards commodities that I would love to see being more in charge. But the CFTC and the SEC are going to have kind of a face-off in Congress, right? That's where that's going to happen on Thursday. I think it is. Or is it tomorrow? Darn it. I need to go find the article now. It's either tomorrow or Thursday. Let's see.
Phil's making some good points. I want to talk about stuff that he's saying.
Phil is a wonderful man.
Because I had kind of a realization. I mean, I've always knew it, but putting it into context last night. Remember, we're talking about how the SEC is not doing stuff, and how since years ago when they made that movie, Joe had said, "Look, just tell me what the rules are so that we can build." We can work within the rules that you set down, and have a where companies can feel comfortable enough to explore the technology and to work with this technology and build blockchain. He said, they're talking to companies like, "Oh, we're scared to mess with you. We're scared to do anything because we don't know what the SEC is going to do. We don't know what the government's going to do. The uncertainty." So the what they're doing is they're really just creating FUD.
They're just gathering information is what they're doing, is what I'll tell you. I'll go one further. So there is something called the Very Fund that for all the people that bought Very, that I guess that can get like a refund or whatever. They supposedly are, you fill out these forms and you send it into SEC. There's a whole website about it. And they are asking all this information, and then you're supposed to be reimbursed or made whole or whatever for what you spent on your Very. they have yet to reimburse a single person. All they're doing is gathering information.
Mm-hmm.
The more information you give them, they send you another form. They want like spreadsheets of every transaction you had.
Like talking to the police. There's no reason to talk to the police.
Right.
Every lawyer, every cop that you know, if you're friends, they'll tell you that there's no reason. So here's something though that I was last night. Joe had said that we just want to know what we need to just tell us the rules so we can move forward and start working.
But they don't want to tell you the rules. They want you to just give them information.
Well, no, they don't want to tell you the rule. They don't want to tell you the rules or make the rules. And I said it's like YouTube. They'll say, "Hey, you're in trouble. You violated the rules."
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. I don't want to violate the rules. What rule did I violate so I don't do that? Read the rules. Like, okay, I read the rules, but I don't need. There's very, very broad and open. Didn't say.
Yeah.
Just tell me what I did. Yeah, you broke the rules, and they do that. And I think the reason why the SEC is not doing what Phil said, they're not working on a regulational framework. It's not because they don't want to have crypto in a box. But when they do that, if they do set parameters, they put themselves in that box. They can't just hit you willy-nilly. They literally have to say you violated this because we've made this box and now we're in it with you. So they're confining themselves, which is one of the reasons why they just keep it open. Because they've learned they can just keep saying, no, that's fine, that's wrong. Yeah, they can do it over there, because they're different. They're in a different state or they wear different shoes. It's because they give money to the right people, but they're fine.
That's like having a schizophrenic parent and you just you don't know how to behave because you could be smacked for any reason because there's no rules, but the rules can change at any time.
That was a crypto YouTuber in 2018. Yeah, that was it, dude. You didn't know. I remember we would get struck with we got struck with strikes like bad. Mm-hmm. And me, Crypto Bitcoin Chris, Kiffs, Martini, we're all talking I don't know. And then I went back.
Well, I lost my channel 3 times.
And we had to look, and it was because we had a sponsor that was and YouTube never told us. Never told any of us. We all got 2 strikes, different people. And it was because we had a crypto gambling site that was just hey, check out blah, blah, blah. It was I forget what it was, but we were all doing these little commercial pre-rolls in the beginning. It's today's show sponsored by this, the site. And that was it. We had to figure that out ourselves and then go take all the videos down.
Oh my gosh.
But YouTube was going out. We would have lost our channels because we all got hit because we violated the terms of service. Mm-hmm. And it was pornography, gambling, whatever. It was all the this broad thing. We didn't know what it was. And then
I swear we're not
it hit us a week later for some video. One guy did a month ago, one guy did 2 weeks ago, one guy did yesterday. And we're all talking to each other what are they doing?
Yeah.
And then I said, it's got to be these. It has to be these. So we went and pulled them all down, and that was it. But they never told us. So, yeah, it's just like having a schizophrenic. Hey, Jay.
Schizophrenic parent.
I'm, Jay actually is one of the winners last night on the.
Congrats, Jay.
So congrats to him. I am sending your money. Of course, I got scammers to hit. So annoying.
And my friend Jay said, since there's 2 Jays here, I'm the handsome one.
All right, good. I'm glad. So that is you. That is you on the about. Okay, so I'll get that sent out here in the next 20, 30 minutes. All right.
That's cool. I love that you do that for people that comment. So you guys remember to go back after the video and comment.
It used to be a lot easier when I was making lots of money, but not so much now.
Man, it's a tough road right now for everybody. And that's something that you guys can really help us out. That's with your time and your attention is to go back after the videos and make sure you give us a like, do a comment afterwards, share the video to any of platforms. Get these videos out there that
hit the like
help
button.
us.
Yeah.
All of that helps.
I really appreciate
we really appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot.
It does. It's very, because I know you don't have to do it, and the fact that you do it means a lot to me. I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm reaching out to other it's I've realized that so many people are fake. Like Economic Ninja, he's actually a very nice guy. He's very busy, but
Yeah,
he's
he's
just, you know.
a really good guy.
But so many other YouTubers are like, "Hey, Bailey, can we do a collaboration?" And it's like they
They're
just
like, talk
ignore
to
me.
my PR agent.
No, they just don't even say anything.
They just don't respond.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I've
that's
done like,
crappy.
and not just, but that's the thing. I'm looking at other like in the gun community and stuff. And
Yeah.
I've done work. I mean, like I charge like $400 to do like intro videos. I make them, you know,
Oh, wow.
which I haven't made you one because you've got your cool intro video. But
I need a new one. Mine's a little
I
dated,
made you
to be
an
honest.
outro. I did make you an outro. I don't know if I sent it to you.
No, you
Anyway,
didn't.
I like made those and sent them to. They don't even acknowledge they got them.
Wow.
Nothing. Nothing.
That's a lot of work.
And Phil and people have been telling me to get with Bunker Branding. I sent them emails. Never heard
I'm
back.
going to change my name on my channel starting January just because, like, so I picked the new normal way back when, pre
I didn't think
crazy
I
time.
didn't think we were supposed to talk about that.
Oh,
From what I had heard from some people, of the reason why you chose that was because of the boys.
no,
Really?
had nothing to do
With the
with
boys?
them.
Okay.
They
That's what
had nothing to do with it.
Thank you, Gulag. Yeah, that's what Rice told me.
Nope,
Thanks, buddy.
absolutely nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, then tell me of your new normal story. Because I
So
do.
the reason I called it the new normal was a very long time ago because my daughter died. I was a single mom after being married in an abusive relationship marriage for 20 years with 5 kids and then adopting and fostering kids, and all of a sudden then I'm single mom with 5 kids and in the workforce, and then my daughter dies, and then I'm like trying to figure out, I'm walking around, I felt like I was missing my arm. So I went through like all these changes, these seasons of life. Then I get remarried. And so I really wanted to, and I had girlfriends that were going through these changes too. You know, one of them got divorced as well. One was a mom with a child that had special needs. Like my child had special needs. One of my children had special needs. And I had another friend that her husband died. And so I wanted to tell these stories about finding your new normal as you go through these changes or seasons in life, because I felt like you think that you are you and your life is always going to be the way it is today, and then tomorrow your life changes, and that person you were yesterday you will never be again, and this person is a new person that you have to adjust and find your new normal. And so that's where I came up with new normal. That was in 2016.
It was before, you know, the
The
gingivitis
great
outbreak.
infectant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the great
they had the
infection.
new normal meant something completely different.
Yeah,
It's
so
so
then
weird
they
just
started
hearing you
using
talk. Just
the
real
new
quick,
normal.
it's odd how our journeys were so similar. But I'm a guy, so it's different.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just everything, you
We
know,
have had a lot of that.
relationship, single parent. It's all, you know, our child. It's like it's
Yeah.
odd hearing it from someone else and then thinking,
And
yeah.
that's why I thought it was so important to tell those stories too, because you think that you went through these things and you feel so alone or you feel weird or whatever. And then you hear like, oh no, somebody else has that experience and you can share that um, journey, and somebody else can talk to you about the, you know, you don't have death cooties, or, you know, you can share some of those other experiences of like, oh my gosh, you know, I wasn't in the workforce for 20 years, or, you know, I went to go try to rent a house after being a stay-at-home mom for 20 years and was told that I don't have work history,
Yeah, see, that's something that
income history. And I was like, I owned that company that me and my husband owned. Yeah, I owned it too. Well, he has work history because he
was
was
in his
the
name.
owner of the company. And I'm like, no, I owned it too.
That's what it's so different.
But
Like our stories are the
I
same, but they're
couldn't even
so
rent
radically different
a
because of our
house.
sexes.
Mhm.
Like everything comes out My wife cheated on me with like 240 different men within 2 hours, 2 years.
Man, she was busy.
Oh yeah. Well, we live by Fort Hood. There was like
Well,
60,000
I'm just
men.
saying 2 hours,
Yeah,
240
I know.
men. That's
Two
like,
years. 2 years. 250. There's
still, that's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. It is. It's a crazy amount.
Yeah.
But then she, I was like, and I still was like, okay, let's go to counseling. I forgive you. But and
Wow.
then it took me a while to understand and get. I don't know who this woman is. This is not who I married. This is a completely different person. The person I married is dead. They're not coming back.
Yeah.
But even then, so it's like I'm done. It's over. It's finished. You have the bedroom. I have the couch. You need to move out. She's like, hey, I haven't worked ever. We got married out of high school, and you've always worked. I don't have the ability to pay for myself to live, so I can't. So
Oh
and
no,
like
I didn't
you
care.
could
I was so controlled that I was like, I refused
I was
alimony.
that's the thing. I was too. It was a different form of abuse though. So
Yeah.
I have to now say, okay, I'll pay for you to go to school to be like
Oop.
a LVN or a pharmacy technician. That's like a couple of months. I have to buy you a car, and it's just like it's weird. I have to like set you up, and then I didn't have to, but
No.
it was just odd, and it was part of the messed
Yeah,
up.
I didn't. To me, and mentally, I didn't want any of that. I mean, the judge even made me take $100 a month because he said that if Mia or Cannon had to have like emergency hospitalization,
Mhm.
I would need to be able to go back and say like, hey, I had to quit my job and live with them in the hospital, so now I do need alimony. And if you don't have any alimony, you can't go adjust it. So he made me take $100 a month
And alimony. See this?
in alimony. And I was like, I don't want it because I don't
That's
want him having the satisfaction of paying me alimony because I
that's
don't
one of the
need him.
differences in our story when it comes to the sexes. Like
Hmm.
I remember this pisses me off now. I get angry, but we're getting divorced, and I have 4 kids, and I have to put in something for child support. I'm like, I don't really want child support. She's gonna watch the kids when I work. We're gonna be friends. None of that shit happened. My
Yeah,
mom had to watch the kids
that's
when I worked.
why.
I only worked for like 1 or 2 days a week.
That's why
But I
there's a
worked
court.
like 15-hour days when I was a financial advisor. Anyway, so it's like $20 a kid is what I put in, but there's no alimony or anything, and she's supposed to pay $20 a kid. Anyway, we go to court, and I'm getting divorced. I'm not happy. They pull her aside, right? Because I'm getting custody of the kids, all the so they pull her aside, and they ask her, "Is he threatening you? Are you scared right now? Is it just because I'm a big dude who looks angry?" And then she laughs at their face. It's like, no, and then she's like, okay. So then she comes and tells me, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? I'm telling the judge, like, why would
Yeah,
you do that? And then they're like, well, you don't look very happy. I was like, I'm getting divorced, bro.
yeah.
I'm
I'm.
not happy.
Yeah, this is like the most
But
awful
a
place
very
and thing.
a different thing that happened
We
to us
should talk
because of
about that. Yeah. Because it's very interesting how we do have a lot of similarities. But that's why I called it the new normal. So I don't know why someone would give you another story when they obviously don't have a clue. Unless they were told something by someone who has
yeah.
been known to be liars. Um,
But you also talked about how if because you are a weirdo, you're a freak, which I mean, people that words,
Thanks.
it's the word is bad, but it's become bad, but it just means not normal. And you're not like everyone else. When you lose a kid, you do feel, and people
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I'm so
I
sorry."
literally felt like
I
my
feel bad
arm,
for like you
I
don't
was missing a
understand,
body part.
and
Yeah.
yeah, but it's almost like
Mhm.
you get angry because you're like, you don't fucking understand. Don't tell me. And it's like people
Mhm.
are trying to be nice to you, Sean.
Yeah.
They're trying. They don't understand. They don't know.
No.
And then when you find people that have had it happen to them, you just like instantly feel comfortable. You're like, oh, you
Mhm.
get me. You
Yeah.
understand.
You have
You
the
you
same pain.
you do understand. You know
Mhm.
what it's like going into the grocery store and just looking at peanut butter, and you start to get almost
Sob
you cry
uncontrollably.
because you're
Yeah.
like, oh, that was his favorite peanut butter. Or still it's like you're cooking food and you think you have to have one more portion. it's like, oh, right. It's stuff hits you all the time. And regular people just don't. I mean, when you say it, you're like, oh, I get that, but you don't get the depth of it and this is something super interesting. Keith Waring, I've told you, he's really into this science of the
I have to boogie,
the metaphysical thing.
A minute over.
This guy's like a brain. I'll tell you real quick. This guy's like a real big neurologist and everything. And when it comes to stuff like that, any kind of real bad trauma, when you start thinking about it and you're depressed about it and you relive it, you literally relive it like it just happened. Your brain gives you the same chemicals. Yeah. Your brain gives you the same chemicals. So you're reliving the trauma over and over again. And it can mess with your health. It can mess with a lot of stuff. His book is called Becoming Supernatural. Great book. Cool. Great book.
Maybe that's something we can do on our book study. We started our book study. I've got a free Telegram group.
Yeah, Keith would love to come on and talk. I'd love to have. He is like a really good friend of mine.
Let's do a show with him and talk about the books. I would love to help people with healing, especially with PTSD and all that. So
yeah, it's a very interesting thing.
I love you. I gotta go. I got 3 minutes to get to our next meeting. Well, okay, love you guys. Thank you for joining in the chat. Please go back to both of our channels and do a comment below.
Take care and ride out this bull market.
Не, скажи за Россию. За Россию. Я пью за медведя. За Россию.